flying Spirit and you gonna turn into one, a key. This how I be sleep on my $100 Spirit flights, knowing I'm finna be in an oceanfront room in 5 hours and the haters gonna be watching through a phone. But fly with me to St. Maarten. Y'all, this flight was at 5 a.m. so I had to be at the airport by 3:30. So I had to be woke at 2:30. So basically I got no sleep. I haven't flown with Spirit in a while and they have totally revamped their systems at O'Hare because I feel like this was the quickest I got through check-in. They got robots doing everything now, y'all. I always got to check to see if my gate exists before I can do anything else. And I couldn't forget the infamous airport boomerang. Because did you even go anywhere if you don't make this post for Instagram? I ain't forget y'all used to hatch y'all Spirit logos on these posts back in the day. I'm ashamed to say I did it a couple times before, but I was young and dumb. I love me some Spirit flights now as long as I get there. I don't know if it'd be excitement of going somewhere, but Spirit seats do not bother me. As long as I got a window seat, I'm good. A lady and a toddler sat down next to me and before she even put him in the seat, he was cutting up. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be a terrible flight. But remember when I said I didn't get no sleep? Yeah. I passed out so quick on that flight, I barely remember taking off. I slept all the way through the descent because that always hurts my ears. Woke up in Fort Lauderdale, got some food. I've never had a burger so salty, and I used to eat this so much in college. What happened, y'all? Connection was smooth, y'all. Spirit got Wi-Fi now on international flights, something I ain't seen on y'all favorite airlines, and I bought it just to let y'all know if it worked. And it worked. And it worked internationally. I was on TikTok and Instagram the whole time. Landed in St. Maarten, y'all. They doing some construction on the airport, so this is how it looks when you come off the planes. I got through customs so quick and easy. I didn't even get to record anything. From deplaning to coming outside was like 15 minutes, if that. All because I left my glasses on the plane. And they put us in a special line and we got expedited right to customs. I was on the fence about getting a cab or rental car. And the first person to speak to me outside the airport was a rental car person. So I took that as a sign to rent a car. I swore I had read somewhere that they drive on the opposite side. But y'all, they don't. They drive on the same side as in America. And so I ended up renting a car from these guys. I love to support small and local businesses when I travel. And once I realized I can drive and he told me the price, I was ready. They had them a customer. The rental part was boring, but I did have to drive to the office to finish the paperwork. Then back to my hotel. But y'all, look at my view from the hotel room. All thanks to my little $100 Spirit flight. After I got my rental car and finally settled into my hotel, I went to the restaurant next to my hotel. And y'all, the service here was terrible. I got some mahi and it was dry, and some wings and a passion fruit mojito. I do love the heavy use of passion fruit on this island, by the way. But yeah, I spent $40 for terrible food in mid-service. So that was the last time I went to this place for food. I love y'all, but please stop asking me about safety in these places I be going, because I just be doing shit like walking down dark roads just to find a bar. See, this is why you can't listen to everything on the internet, because I read that parking in St. Maarten was terrible, which led me to walk to the bar because I thought parking was not going to be available. Come to find out, parking was ample available. So I walked up the dark road for literally no reason. Anyway, I found myself at this bar called Sandbar where I got my first lychee martini. Somebody said these better than lemon drops, and I'm gonna have to disagree. I met these people. The girl was another solo traveler and we had some drinks. I walked back down the dirt road and passed out. Stay tuned for day 2 and my first full day in St. Maarten. Shit. I had no real plans for this trip after it became a solo trip. I was just trying to let the vibes take me places. And they got me sent off. Day 2 in St. Maarten, I got sent off by the girl I met the night before. I almost cried at this view that I got to wake up to every day in St. Maarten. The view of this beautiful beach could not have been any better. Now, while the view was cute, the ceiling definitely was blocking out some of that good sun content lighting. But I was cute. Check that other app for the pics. If I haven't said it already, after my little balcony content shoot, I had to go get breakfast. I found this breakfast spot on TikTok. I stayed really close to Mahu Beach, so y'all, it was really close to restaurants, like basically walking distance. And thanks to the TikTok girlies, this restaurant was perfect. I was able to walk in and sit right by the water and watch the planes come in. And if you know me, you know my favorite thing to do on vacation is eat near water, especially a beautiful clear body of water like this. I don't know, y'all, I just love it. The food was actually really good. Service here was great. My waiter even took some pictures of me on the beach because he seen I was solo dolo. Y'all, the sun was just not working out for me this trip. The one big thing I wanted to do on this trip was get a picture by the airplanes, but this was the best I got since I was solo and I did not want to bother anybody else with taking my pictures. After breakfast, me and the girl was supposed to go to the Rainforest Adventures to do the Flying Dutchman, but y'all, why I get sent off, like clean off? I felt like Issa. Anyway, I let the send off vibes lead me back to my hotel to have a little beach day. I sat and soaked up some sun before somebody came and offered me a massage. Y'all, the massage was nice, but they really got me with the bait and switch pricing, because at first she said 90 for 1 hour, then 40. Then when I got on the table, she said 40 only gets you 30 30 minutes. I'm like, girl, why you ain't say that before I took my titties out? I ain't never seen a close-up of my back. I'ma stop the big back jokes in 2024 because it ain't funny no more because the joke hitting too close to home. I took like a 30-minute nap before I had to get up and go to Toppers for the last rum tasting of the night. St. Maarten traffic is crazy. Like, the rental car lady told me it was crazy, but I didn't know it was this crazy. The guy I met at the bar the night before was the bartender there, and so he recommended. And y'all, it was so fun. The rum tasting started with a cup of none other than rum punch. The whole tour was like 2 hours. She gave us a history of the owner and the rum on the island. We tasted so many different types of rum, and we even got to taste some rum pairings. We also got to see how the rum is bottled and packaged for sale. Y'all, this banana rum did something to my soul. It was so good. I also met another solo traveler. Y'all, it was a lot of solo travelers out there, and we all got to taste as many rums on tap as we wanted. After the rum tour tasting, there was a show at Toppers, a Broadway show that they called it. It was a very nice little dance show with the local dance troupe. I will have to say they did their thing, but the crowd was just not my thing. I stayed because I was starving, so I was eating anyway, and the show was just an extra cherry on top. But y'all, this rum cake from Toppers, so good. I mean, so good, so wet like. But y'all, the rum in St. Maarten is no joke. After the show, I ended my night there, and that was day 2. Okay, but y'all, why this iguana kept coming and shitting on my balcony? Day 3 was the best day in St. Maarten, and it's also the day I have the least content. Is that a coincidence? Like I said in my last video, I was just going off vibes this whole trip. Yes, the white 2-piece suit from Bali has re-entered the content world. Check out the flicks over there. I booked a food tour on Viator. I had to rush my morning content shoot. But yeah, I wake up early, do all this rushing, get to the meeting spot that's on the other side of the island just for the tour to be gone. I called a little number for them to tell me that the tour was full and I should have never been able to book because it was full. The lady was really nice and she just rebooked me for the next day. But y'all, that drive, remember I said about St. Maarten traffic? Anyway, I let the vibes take me back to the other side of the island. I wasn't mad because it rained this whole day. I thought December had great weather, but with global warming, the earth just be doing anything. Anyway, y'all, I had to go to Sunset Beach Bar, a very popular restaurant right on the beach, and the food was just not good. It was edible, and ironically, it reminded me of all-inclusive food. But y'all keep telling me to go to all-inclusives. After my lunch brunch, I came back to my room just to see this iguana shitting on my balcony. They were really nice about it and sent maintenance to clean it up right away. Now, y'all know I always got a little story, but the girl from the previous night who sent me off missed her flight, and so we ended up hanging out this night. If y'all caught my laugh, y'all know the whole story about that. But yeah, we met up at Captain's Rib Shack, another TikTok find, and y'all, they had some pretty good food. The ribs were okay, but they were still kind of good. And you got a whole rack for $10, and the sauce was good. Y'all, I got this garlic shrimp, and it was literally the best thing I ate on this island. I went back the next day for this. After Captain's, we were supposed to bar hop because this was the block with all the bars and clubs. We started off at the beginning of the road at Nowhere Special. The name of this place is called Nowhere Special. Do not ask me what the name of this place is. Just look for my name on the wall. We had some drinks there, and now, y'all, this was a Friday, so they said Friday is a good day for Nowhere Special. They had the reggae band there who was spitting. I almost felt like I was in Jamaica, and we ended up staying the whole night there before heading back, and that was day 3. St. Maarten owes me a liver. Nothing else but a new liver because the drinks here drank me. Day 4 in St. Maarten, I was really trying to chill. I did chill, actually. Y'all would think my whole job as a travel influencer the way I woke up every morning to get my content on this balcony. And please stop asking me where I stayed. I'm going to tell it at the end of this series. Just stay tuned. But yeah, I booked a food tour on Viator for the previous day, but there was a mix-up and I was rescheduled for this day. But lucky me, because I was the only one on this tour, so I technically had a private tour. Y'all, I low-key been on my private tour-ish this whole year because the same thing happened in Turks. But yeah, the tour consisted of Dutch and cheese wine pairing, a traditional St. Maarten breakfast, rum tasting, and a French lunch. First stop was the Dutch and cheese pairing, and y'all, I was really trying to chill, but he popped the whole bottle at 9 a.m. to pair with the cheeses. I learned about cheeses and how they taste as it matures. The green one was a pesto cheese, and I asked him if it was store-bought, and he ain't catch it. Is it store-bought pesto?
Sorry?
Is it store-bought pesto?
The store?
I hate when I'm the only one who speak TikTok. I met one of my followers here and she was so cool. I even bought some cheese to go and I'm so mad because I left it in the fridge in my hotel room. So somebody got them some $20 cheese. But the next stop was real food because I was tipsy after drinking that champagne with no food in my stomach. Our next stop was at La Bamba to get some journey cake or Johnny cake. If you from St. Maarten, you know what I'm trying to say. And saltfish. They said it's a common breakfast on the island and it for sure was because baby, we was there for about 20 minutes and they was slanging them things the whole time. I sat at the bar to get a closer look at them preparing the bread, and I also got a pic with the owner's son. He was really nice. With some food in my belly, I was equipped for the next stop, and guess what it was? more liquor. This rum tasting was at the Guava Berry store, which is the official island rum, if I'm not mistaken. And y'all, it was on the French side, and I was so loving it. It gave New Orleans vibes, and y'all know that's my second favorite city after Chicago. But yeah, they had so many rum flavors. Like any flavor you can think of, they have it rum flavored. This tasting was a little bit more casual than the one at Toppers. Some of these rums was strong, and it almost took me out, but I prevailed. I think I tasted like 90% of the flavors. Of course, I went home with the passion fruit flavored one. I love how they had small bottles because y'all know my luggage was already overweight. Next was this French cafe that was only open for lunch, and it's a popular place that has a forever rotating menu. And y'all, I don't know why, because it was not all that. I got some seafood dish, and it could have been very well kept because no. The tour guide was really good about educating me about the different sides of the island and how the French side is French territory. So y'all, your girl went to Europe technically. Y'all know I love me a 2-in-1 trip. I haven't been to France before, and I always wanted a croissant, so he found me a small bakery to get a croissant. When I asked, I was really just playing, but it really was a small bakery on the French side, and I got me 2 croissants and an eclair. It was rush hour by now, so we took the long way back to my hotel, and I got to see a lot of the island along the way. Y'all, I really love this island. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I ate the croissant before I can get a video clip of it, but here's a clip of the last bite. It was good too. I stayed in this night because it rained again. But y'all, I went out and got some food from, guess what? Captain's Rib Shack. I hate doing carry out because the taste never be the same. I don't know why I just didn't eat it there, but yeah, I took it back to my food and chopped it up on live with my followers. Y'all, I tied this dress so tight I had to cut it off of me. I was really channeling my inner travel influencer on this balcony. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I had to put a towel down on part of it because the iguana came back and left me a little present, and I forgot to tell reception. I really wanted breakfast, but I did not get up until like 11. I wanted to check this place out that's so popular on TikTok, Rainbow Cafe. Y'all, I heard so much about this place, you would have thought I'd been there before. If I was in a group, I'd rather have been on the inside though. Y'all, the front side water though, look at that water. This right here is the reason I'll likely return to this island sooner than later. I got a drink and they come in these nice little tiki glasses. It was actually really good, and of course it had passion fruit in it. I'm a pro at getting my own content after this trip because, okay, Pooh, you cute or whatever. I ordered the burger because I was a whole hour shy of breakfast, and the burger did not disappoint, y'all. I thought it was going to be mid, but it was definitely giving high-class burger. And y'all, I feel like nobody says this, but Rainbow Cafe has like a whole beach section where you can rent a day bed. Now, don't quote me, but I think she said it was a $60 minimum for each bed, which is not bad because look at the view. I was so mad I didn't bring a bikini because I definitely would have stayed and got a bed. Also, I hear it turns into a party after 5. The drive home was super annoying because the valet left the gear shift up and I thought I broke the car and it got stuck in the mud, but I got through it because I'm me. Since it was the last night, I decided to treat myself to a nice seafood dinner. Did I find this place on TikTok? Yes, but it's also highly recommended around the island. They let you pick the lobster out the water. Y'all, I thought this was going to be so much fun, but it was a little scary holding it. I got the crab backs for the appetizer and the passion fruit mojito. The lobster came grilled with a variety of different sauces and butter, and I had the baked potato as a side. I don't know why, but I love eating seafood by myself. Y'all, why I thought this lobster was 2 pounds. I got the bill and I almost passed out because it was 4 pounds and it was $24 per pound. I went back to Nowhere Special with someone I met at Skipjack's, and the band was not hitting like it did on Thursday. So I stayed for a bit, had a drink, and called it a night. And that was my last night in St. Maarten.